I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we dive into a gripping military thriller with faith at its core. It is called The Adventures of George Lee, A Race Against Time, and it's written by a terrific author. His name is Orville Mann. This action-packed novel follows First Lieutenant George Lee as he battles espionage, dangerous missions, and protection of world peace, all the while navigating a newfound love and relying on God's guidance. It is a book that is full of suspense, romance, and faith. This is a story that you won't want to miss. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank the team at Book Savvy International for helping us put him in the spotlight today. And we ask viewers like you to support authors like him by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing his amazing book. The links are below this interview. Orville and Nina, great to have you both on our show today. Welcome.
Thank you.
This book is great, very, very original, very, very thrilling. What gave you the idea for it, Orville?
I helped a friend of mine finish a book that he had been working on for several years, and I helped him finish it. And I was intrigued by the fact that I could help, and therefore I decided to write books of my own.
Great. Well, we're glad you did. Now, Nina, would you read this book as Orville was writing it? Did he give you a chapter by chapter, a page by page? Tell us about your review.
Well, not exactly page by page, but I got an overall picture of what was going on.
And did you like it?
Yes,
Okay, good, good.
not only do I love my husband, but I love the book.
Great, great. Well, you should. It's a great book, and he seems like a great husband. So you've got your priorities straight there, that's for sure. Tell us this.
We've done our best for what? How many years we've been married?
65 years.
65.
65 years. Holy cow. What age were you when you got married?
I was 20, she was 18.
Amazing, amazing. And where did you meet?
We met just a few miles from where our house is now, and that was in Milton, Kentucky, at a little place called Jolie's.
Mm-hmm.
And it's no longer a restaurant there. There's a gas station, but
Mm-hmm.
we enjoyed it. And from that point on, we've been
Together ever since. Your whole lives. That's amazing. So was Jolie's like a diner or a malt shop or something?
drive-in restaurant
That
in
must have been a wonderful place.
Milton, Kentucky. It was a
It
small,
was.
Good.
it was a good drive-in.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome.
I was from Indiana and she was from Kentucky, and one of her friends brought her over, and we met in front of, that was our first meeting. We'd seen well, she had seen me before, but anyhow, that's where it all started, that we got together.
That's amazing. That's great. That's a great story of such a great era too, that you're at a drive-in and that's where you got together. Was that your official first date, or where was your official first date?
That was
Our
it.
official first date was we met there and then went on a ride with some of our friends.
Amazing,
They got us
amazing.
together, so it was an arranged first date.
So that must have been around 1969 or so, or no, 1959.
1960.
1960.
1960. Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. Wonderful era and a great love story, I'm sure. That's terrific. So you guys have done everything in life, and now you work together on this book because she's looking over your shoulder while you're writing at Orville, and that's great. And tell us a little bit of the story of George Lee and his race against time.
Well, George Lee was a career Army officer, and he had this assignment to build some kind of contraption to stop a new weapon that was put out by the enemy, and they didn't know exactly who that was, but they had the assignment for him to set up a facility on an island in the Pacific to prepare a counter weapon for that new weapon that they had just introduced. And it had been used, but their weapon had been used against friendlies. And so he was, as an Army officer, he was commissioned to take charge of that as a first lieutenant.
Amazing, amazing. And were you in the military? Is that what your inspiration was?
I resigned as a first lieutenant to go to Bible college and become a preacher. So
Okay.
I've been a minister for what, 50 years?
That's wonderful.
I just resigned January 1st.
Okay, well, congratulations on your retirement from the ministry. I'm sure it's not something you ever fully retire from in a way, right?
Yeah, I stay involved some, mostly taking care of her.
Well, that's good. That's the best work you can do, taking care of each other. That's wonderful.
That's right. We've been faithful to one another and support one another in all that we do.
Yep. Yep. How long did you serve in the military, Orville?
I was in 12 years.
Okay, that's a long time. Where were you stationed?
I was in the National Guard. I went to OCS in Indianapolis at Fort Benjamin Harrison. It was commissioned in 1965 and attained the rank. I was qualified through captain, but I resigned to go to Bible college to become a minister.
Gotcha. And Nina, when you heard that Orville wanted to resign and go to Bible college, was that something that was a good idea in your opinion?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Uh,
You could,
I always agreed with him.
yeah. You could tell that was his calling and his place to go, right?
Yes.
Wonderful,
I
wonderful.
acted partially as a chaplain for the unit I was with. I was never qualified as a chaplain, but I did do work.
Did some ministering there while you were there.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Wonderful, wonderful. And tell us a little bit about your ministry once you became a reverend.
Oh, I was ordained in 1960, 68, I think, 69.
Okay.
Anyhow, from that time on, I pastored in Kansas City. I was in Wyoming for a little bit and different places in the country, Madison, Wisconsin for a short time, and just different places around the country. Kansas City probably was my longest term away from the area. And then I came back to this area and pastored a church called Mount Tabor Wesleyan Church for what?
A long time.
30 years.
That is a long time. Yeah. Yeah, that is a long time. But you traveled around a little bit. What was that like traveling around? Was it just you and your wife? Did you have children? Tell us a little bit
We
about
had
your
two
travels.
children,
Mhm.
Pamela June Mann and Orville Jackson Mann II.
Mhm.
And Jack went into the military and resigned as I think it was sergeant major. My daughter works in Cheyenne, Wyoming as a technician. I think she was the lead person, had to do with Dish Network.
Right, right. Gotcha.
She
That's
worked
wonderful.
for real.
You got any grandchildren now?
Have 5 grandchildren, 6 great-grandchildren.
Wonderful, wonderful. Your grandchildren must be getting big at this point, right?
They're married and had kids
Amazing.
of their own. Yeah,
Yeah.
got 2 in Tennessee and 3 in Wyoming.
So everybody's spread around the country. Do you have to go out on the road and visit them from time to time? Do they come home and see
Yeah, we
you?
try. We haven't been. We went last year at Thanksgiving
Hmm.
to Wyoming, and then after that we went down to Tennessee, uh, Murfreesboro, actually.
Sounds good. And you drove there? You did a road trip?
Yes,
Yeah. That's a
I
long drive.
I find it's easier to have a vehicle with me and not have to drive from Denver or take a flight from Denver up. So it just as well we go with that. That way we have our car available.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And your children live in beautiful parts of the country, which is nice. Wyoming's a gorgeous state.
Yes, it is. It's
Yeah.
amazing when you come over that one place in the road and you see Cheyenne lights and snow-covered mountains in the background.
Yeah, it's really gorgeous.
We
Really
lived there for
gorgeous.
just a little bit. I had a stroke in 92 and 93. And so we took off for a while and went and stayed with my daughter out there.
Hmm.
My son was in the military at that time, so
Yeah.
couldn't go with him. So
Right, right. Well, I'm glad you had the kids there to help you out during that time. You look like you fully recovered, thank goodness.
I pretty well have. I can play the guitar and do things. So
Awesome.
the this the problem I had with mobility is overcome.
Awesome. That's wonderful. That's
Thank the
wonderful.
Lord for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Faith is a big part of your book too. That's a big part of George Lee's story. Tell us a little bit about how faith works its way into this military story.
Well, I applied some of my career, not the action that George went through, but some of my career with into the book and just kind of went like life would go. Uh, George Lee was a career officer, and he was assigned this job to create a weapon that would destroy the new weapon an unknown enemy had, and so he went to do that with military and civilian personnel working together.
Yeah.
So that was.
That sounds good. Now, Nina, did you have some suggestions as Orville was writing this? Tell him a little bit more of that, a little bit less of this. Tell us about your guidance there.
Not really. He
No?
he pretty well uh, knows what he's doing,
Yeah,
and I trust him to do that.
I
gotcha.
did contact my son, and he helped some. He was a career military man,
Hmm.
and he retired not too long ago with some disability.
What branch of the service was your son?
He was in the Army as well.
Okay, great. Well, you guys have both served this country well, so thank you for that. We salute you for that for sure.
Well,
Now, have Semper Fi, The Adventures of George Lee. Have you envisioned this perhaps as a movie?
that's coming up. Yes, sir.
Oh, that'd be wonderful. That's wonderful. If you're going to pick a Hollywood actor, who would play George Lee?
Oh, I have no idea. I
Even if
have.
we go back in time, we can do a classic
He'd
movie
be a
star.
handsome dude, though.
Exactly. Maybe a young Clint Eastwood or George Kennedy or somebody like that.
Yeah, I don't know George Kennedy, but I know Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood, of course. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Do you planning on writing any more books?
Maybe a children's book or something, but
Okay.
not anything serious, unless it changed my mind.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
That's
I guess
that changes a lot.
Me too. Me too. Exactly. Exactly. My wife always says, I don't plan on anything you say until you actually do it because I throw a lot of ideas out there and Nina's nodding along. So she probably
I
feels the same
I
way.
told her it's a good thing she didn't have a mind control wheelchair. She'd be wrecking.
That's funny. I'd be driving it all over the place, right?
Yeah,
Without a doubt. That's amazing. That's amazing.
she's been a
And,
good spouse. Good.
oh, absolutely. Together 65 years. That's amazing. That's such a great, great
And actually, we don't argue. We don't. And I give that to as the fact that we are both Christians and we respect each other.
yeah,
And so all that involves with supporting each other as we go along.
exactly. I also think you reach a stage in your relationship where you no longer bicker, no longer argue, that all you do is care about each other and love each other so much that you just want what's best for them. And
Yes,
that the little spur of the moment, whatever, you just let it go. It doesn't
yeah,
matter. Yeah,
it's not critically important.
yeah,
And a lot of
exactly.
stuff is trivial,
Yeah,
really, that people fight over. I've
exactly. Oh,
seen a
yeah.
lot, I've seen a lot of fighting in my career as a pastor, so
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm sure you had some couples come to you, he won't do this or she won't do that, or,
yeah,
and a lot of that's youth and passion and all that. But I think after you've been with your partner for 65 years or however many years, you get to a point where, like I say, you just want what's best for each other. You love each other
yeah,
that much. And
kind of
you realize,
get used to each other by then.
yeah, exactly, exactly. Without a doubt, without a doubt. Tell me about your years as a minister. What kind of work did you do? Was it mostly
I
preaching? Did
was
you work in the community?
normally bivocational till I worked in a shop. I was a welder, and then I was supervisor, and worked my way up through. I worked in for equipment that was mining equipment and welding that. Then I went to a place that did structural steel
Mm,
for large, several story buildings,
mm,
and I pastored also during that time.
mm,
So my time was limited as far as what I could commit to the
mm.
visitation and that sort of thing. But it worked out for several years.
Yeah.
I had a stroke in '92, and that made me change to where I had to do either work full time or pastor full time. And I
Right.
came to this church called Mount Tabor Wesleyan Church in Milton, Kentucky area, and or Bedford area, Bedford, Kentucky area,
Mm.
and been here, stayed there for 30 plus years.
Amazing. Amazing. And it also, that's your home. I mean, that's where I know you're from Indiana and Nina, you're from Kentucky. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I got
But
tired swimming across the river, so I asked her to marry me.
exactly, exactly. But you guys met in Milton, right?
Yes,
Yeah, we had a blind date in front of the little
Jolie.
restaurant called Jolie's.
Yeah,
It was a drive-in that's
yeah.
no longer there, but anyhow, some of her friends, well, my friend, mutual friend, uh, invited
Introduced.
us to meet in their car. So that's what happened. We took a ride down 36, which is a highway road next to the highway, road next
Mhm.
to there. And anyhow, from that time, she lived on a farm out about what, 6 miles from here.
Yes,
Yeah. And,
I was a farm girl.
yeah.
What was life on that farm like for you, Nina?
Hard work.
Yeah,
She was the cook.
yeah. Long days, right? You're up early. What
Yeah,
did you have?
Daddy insisted we get up early.
Yeah. Did you have livestock? Tell me a
Oh,
little bit
yes.
more. What
Yes.
did you have?
We had cows and
Did you have horses? You had a
yeah,
horse?
we had horses.
Yeah, she rode on the horses. Yeah.
Yeah, because I had to ride them to plow or whatever we needed to do.
Hmm.
But I I pretty well I was the oldest,
Hmm.
period.
Hmm.
I had a brother next to me, but I was the oldest.
Hmm.
So I was sent to the house to cook.
Yeah.
And so he got a cook when he
And
married
that
me.
that tells on my stomach.
Well, I'm sure you're a good cook, Nina. And I guess when you're
I'm
the
not any longer.
not any longer.
I, I, he does the cooking now, but
Okay.
I did do the cooking,
Yeah.
but I learned how,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
I
I
learned
think
how to work hard.
And I learned from her how to cook.
well, that's great. What's your favorite meal to cook?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Southern fried chicken, of course.
Oh, that sounds good. With some biscuits and maybe some mashed potatoes and
Yes, yes.
or
Great.
cornbread even, right? Some cornbread. That'd be good.
Yeah.
So,
White
so
gravy.
Orville, and some gravy too, for sure. Do you make a little fried chicken every now and then, Orville?
I'm not too good at that. I can take it out of the bag and heat it in the microwave though.
That's another way to do it. That's fine. Tastes good anyway, right?
Yes, sir.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
And take
And
take take the package of gravy and mix it up and warm it up. That's the
that's
way I fix my gravy.
that sounds good. That sounds good. You guys have a favorite restaurant there you go to from time to time?
We go to Burger King.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, that's our favorite. It's their classic wrap. Uh, it's not as we don't eat as much as we used to, but that's
Right.
enough. And then we have a cup of ice cream afterwards.
That sounds good. That sounds good. I
It's
bet you miss
it's
what's
like
that?
it's like Dairy Queen ice cream, except it's
It's
For
just a
burger.
banana,
yeah,
but
vanilla.
it's
Oh yeah.
good.
That sounds good. You're making me hungry today between the Burger King, the ice cream, the fried chicken. I think we're all
Yeah,
gonna have to get lunch after this, right?
yeah, that's right.
Without a doubt. What was the best dish they used to have at Jolie where you met? Did they have like good malteds there? What kind
Oh,
of
burgers.
Yeah,
burgers?
they had good burgers.
They probably had burgers and malteds though, right?
They
No?
they did
Shakes?
have some milkshakes, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That sounds fun. How long
Oh,
ago did they close?
oh, I have no idea. We were in Cincinnati going to Bible college when they closed.
Right, right. Yeah, that was a good era. Has Milton changed much over the years? I mean, you've been there for a long time.
Well, yeah, they changed. There's still a gas station where there was a gas station back when we were younger, and there's a drive-through
There's a Dairy
gas
Queen.
station where Jolie's was.
Used to be, yep.
Yeah, and the bank's still at the same place.
That's good.
So,
It's nice when small towns don't change too much. I
yeah,
like that.
yeah, it's home. I mean, you
Yeah,
get used to things, but we
exactly.
we missed the view when we drove over to Milton Hill. You could
Hmm.
see when I went to work in Indiana, I could see the bridge silhouetted,
Mm.
uh, the 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 moon coming
Mm.
up or going down, or the sun coming up, whichever. And you could see the bridge silhouetted on the water as we went over the hill driving towards work. And it was a nice time.
Yeah,
Beautiful area
absolutely.
here. Beautiful area here.
Yep, it seems like a beautiful area and a good place to raise a family and a good place to be a minister and a good place to do some writing as well. So, how long did it take you to write this book?
Oh,
I don't know, dear.
Took a while.
probably a year and a half,
Okay, well, that's good.
3 years over the total of 3 books.
Right. Oh, there's three books, huh?
Yeah,
It's
Soldiers
part
of
of a
Fortune.
series.
Yes, they're all series. Um, I have a movie company that's interested in making movies out of it,
Okay, good.
and a traditional publisher that I signed a contract with to publish all 3 books.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So it must be exciting having the books in print, right?
Well, yeah, it little finances would help.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yep. Without a doubt. Well, hopefully people at home will watch this and want to get your books. The name of the book we've been focusing on today is The Adventures of George Lee. The Adventures of George Lee. A Race Against Time by Orville Mann. It is an action-packed novel that follows First Lieutenant George Lee as he battles espionage, dangerous missions, and the protection of world peace, all while navigating a newfound love and relying on God's guidance. It's an amazing book. It's an epic tale. It's part of a series, as Orville and Nina have told us, and you'll want to pick up all of the books, no doubt. What a pleasure talking to both you and Nina today. This was great. Like I said, you got me hungry. I'm going to have to go get some fried chicken and some ice cream after this. Next time you see me, my jacket's going to be a little tighter.
Oh yeah. I've seen some of your interviews and you do very well.
Well, I appreciate that, sir. You
Um,
guys did great today. Really nice talking to you.
Great
And I
talking to
look forward to
you.
talking to you again. I'm going to say goodbye to the folks at home. To the folks watching at home, again, don't miss these books by Orville Mann. They're terrific. And the life he's led, this life of faith, is found within the pages of these books as well. It makes its way into the prose. You will just love it. Thanks for watching. I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time.
Thank you. You've done very well. We appreciate your time.